Well, today is a day of great joy and celebration, even if most people around us in Stopsley, in Luton, and indeed around the country, and most parts of the world, indeed, don't realise it. This is a day of great good news. I wonder what the best bit of news you can think of. Maybe if you're a sports fan, and of course I have to say this, maybe for me, rejoicing at Wembley when we won the League Cup or getting promoted to the Premier League, that's a great celebration. Today's far greater. Maybe we should organise a bus to go around Luton to celebrate. Maybe personally you can think of moments in your life that have been great good news. Maybe particular birthday celebrations or special birthday. Maybe John's going to have a great celebration in a couple of days' time. Maybe you can think of significant moments in your life, maybe passing exams or getting a particular job or position, or maybe getting married, or maybe at the birth of a child, all sorts of fantastic, amazing things that we celebrate. And I don't want to diminish any of those at all. But actually today celebrates something in which all those personal celebrations are taken up and made all the more brilliant and wonderful. I wonder what the best moment of celebration you've had for good news. Well, today is the best news of all. Although, as I say, most people don't realise it. Most church members don't realise it. I won't say who it is, but sent out a message saying Happy Ascension Day on the clergy WhatsApp group in Luton. And one vicar, I don't know if he was joking or not, but one vicar said, "Oh, thanks for the reminder. I forgot, and I've got a service this evening." Perhaps he was joking, I don't know. But today, when you think about it, is the best possible news. That Christ was born. We celebrate. Lots of people come out and sing carols at Christmas. Fantastic, I'm glad they do. It's a wonderful time of year. The birth of Jesus. A fair number of people meditate and think about Jesus on the cross and then celebrate on Easter Day. Perhaps most of our community sort of are not so aware, really, too busy eating chocolates, but a lot of Christians celebrate that he is risen from the dead. He's defeated death. But today we celebrate the fact that the risen Christ is ascended as King of heaven and earth, so that he rules and so that he reigns. And so that when we die, we will be in his presence, in the presence of his light. Our lives on this world make sense because Christ is King. Even our struggles, even the difficult times are transformed by the fact that he is King. And ultimately, though it is hard, that we are on the way to glory, where Christ reigns supreme. Today we celebrate that Christ is the meaning of it all, behind everything that happens. It is a bit of a secret, isn't it? So, we've got great good news that we celebrate today. And not all Christians celebrate it on this day, but it's the great news that maybe we should, that Christians do rejoice in. But it is a bit of a secret on this day. So you might like to whisper, it's going to be hard for Maureen, but you might want to whisper to someone close to you that Christ is ascended. Take a moment just to whisper in their direction. Maureen, you're going to have to project your whisper. Oh no, Natasha's going to share it. And John as well. Christ has ascended. Thank you. So when you think about it, it is great good news. And it's a bit of a mystery, of course, how it happened, the mechanics. Just as Christ coming again in his glory is a mystery exactly how that will happen. Christ, there's a mystery in the way it's described. He left them and was taken up into heaven. We can't really imagine how that would be. But the reading from Ephesians, which is a prayer of Paul, was praying that we might realize, that Christians might realize, we, the disciples of Christ, which we are, may realize that the power that is in work in us is the same power that rose Jesus from the dead. And also, let me just read it out. That power, so Paul's praying for the incomparably great power within us. And he says that power is the same as the mighty strength he exerted when he raised Christ from the dead and seated him at his right hand in the heavenly realms. That power, when you think about that. In little old me, David Alexander, in you, in any believer, that power that rose Jesus from the dead on Easter Day and ascended him on Ascension Day, that power is at work in us. That word power there is dynamis, like dynamite. There's dynamite power at work within us. Most of the time, it's seen in quite small ways from our perspective. When we're able to share joy with each other. I don't mean you joy, but I mean joy. We're able to share peace with one another. We're able to encourage one another. We're able to go out to people around us and show acts of kindness. From a world's perspective, it looks quite small, but actually it's dynamite. Because it's God's kingdom breaking into our world, which one day we will see in the fullness. And as the prayer goes on, that we see Christ far above all rule and authority, power and dominion, and every name that is invoked, not only in the present age, but in the one to come. God placed all things under his feet. One day we'll see the power and the good news of Ascension Day in its fullness when we stand before that one. It's always a bit of a disappointment, isn't it, when you go and visit a wonderful building and you discover that they've decided to do work on it and it's covered with scaffolding. When I recently went to Sweden on the diocesan pilgrimage, we went to see the cathedral in Lipoking. Well, I probably can't say that correctly, but anyway, we went to see a big cathedral. Anyway, Gina will tell us how to say it later. Linköping, that's it, Linköping. The coach pulled up, and we looked out the window, and it's covered with scaffolding. I'm sure it looks absolutely beautiful. And maybe if I go and visit again in 5 years' time, we'll see it in its glory. And they've probably scrubbed off, like they did at Westminster Abbey a few years ago. They've scrubbed off, all the pollution over the years and everything else. And then when they take the scaffolding down of Westminster Abbey, of Linköping Cathedral, they take it all off, and then everyone will stand there looking, as they did at Westminster Abbey. Wow, I didn't know it was that beautiful. One day we'll stand in heaven, and we'll see Christ in all his glory. And all those acts of kindness and everything else that we've done, it's all been brought together into an amazing vision of Christ. God's power is at work within us. And we celebrate today because Christ is ascended and everything makes sense, ultimately, in the risen, ascended Christ. Amen.